Hello, welcome back to Too Many Books. My name is Sean, and today we have a secondary market Subterranean Press unboxing. It's a sub-press book, but I bought it off eBay. This, my friends, is The Destroyer of Worlds by Matt Ruff, which is one I'm excited about. I should say with a caveat, I wasn't excited enough to buy it directly from Subpress, or more accurately, I was too poor to buy it directly from Subpress. Too many books coming out at once. This is one that I couldn't get direct. Well, this was offered on eBay, and I actually got it for about 50%. It might have even been more than 50% off what the cover price is. And well, if you got a title of a nice book like this for over 50% off, you're going to strike while the iron's hot, you know? So here is The Destroyer of Worlds, a return to Lovecraft Country by Matt Ruff. I read and loved Lovecraft Country years back. Never read the sequel, so we're going to change that now that we have this edition in hand. And the actual edition for Lovecraft Country is very nice from Subpress. So it's... I want to say this was one of the first Subpress titles I purchased that had the nicer trim size, the nicer paper, back in like 3-4 years ago. It was kind of during COVID when they were switching over from their more traditional sized numbered editions, which they still do. They still do that for like the best ofs, for example, and they were switching over into this larger, more deluxe trim size. I want to say Lovecraft Country was one of the first ones that I purchased of that. It's also probably a very early unboxing video on my channel if you want to check that out. It was a very hot summer day, and I sweated all over the book. I do recall that. But anyways, here we have David Palumbo's gorgeous artwork. That was one of the things that was amazing. Oh my God, it's number 2. I forgot about that. It's limited to 400 numbered copies and 26 lettered copies. This is number 2, and we have a little, was it Kilroy? Kilroy is the name of the little guy? Kilroy was here? Not the Mr. Roboto Styx album. This is like from the war, right? So I haven't read this one yet. I've already mentioned that. And I don't know who the bones signify. I know it is not Merrick's Elephant Man bones, but man, something about the shape is really giving me Elephant Man vibes. Is it John Merrick or Joe Merrick? I think Joseph Merrick was the name of that. But anyways, this should be printed in line with Lovecraft Country, where it is with it's almost got very pulpy, almost like a newspaper, 2 different columns for the text, which is a strange gimmick. Some people are probably not going to like it. I personally love it. I think it's a really cool detail. You know, Lovecraft Country, the first novel, was very much a throwback to the old pulp novels and like pulp dime store reads that you could pick up. So, you know, it was a really nice touch for the limited edition. I don't know if the structure of this is going to be similar to Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country was almost like a collection of short stories in a way. They were interconnected, but each one sort of followed a different character from the family. You have Atticus, Hippolyta, George was one of their names. I can't remember what the nephew's name was. But each short story, each chapter, which is, like I said, its own short story, had its own title and everything, kind of followed different characters throughout their adventures. And it almost crossed different genres and subgenres within it. It looks here like they wind up in what I'm assuming is like a nuclear test site. They might want to take an Indiana Jones and hop in that lead-lined fridge. You know what I'm talking about. Like Lovecraft Country, there was a whole one chapter or short story, depending on how you're looking at it, that had to do with like a possessed doll. You had another one which was more of a heist short story. You had one that was traditional Lovecraft, like Lovecraftian eldritch horrors. One that was more of a Jekyll and Hyde kind of story. It had all sorts of different stories. And like I said, they did interconnect. The characters did all kind of come together, and they would cross over from story to story. But it was just a fascinating read. I absolutely loved it. I'm sure there's probably a little bit of controversy about the fact that Matt Ruff is a white man writing about a bunch of African Americans struggling with racism in the decades past, but I thought he did a good job. But I am also a white man, if you couldn't tell from my pasty-ass skin in this video, so, you know, I shouldn't be one to be able to judge that, but I thought it was done very well. It almost, the comparison I kind of had given, I was working part-time at Barnes & Noble, picking up some extra hours at the time. The synopsis I had given for my little recommendation card that I put on it was, it was To Kill a Mockingbird meets, not Lord of the Flies, like science fiction meets horror meets To Kill a Mockingbird. There was another novel that I compared it to, and I can't remember what the hell it was. I should have rewatched my unboxing. I'm sure I mentioned it in there. This was also, you know, closer to a decade now when I made that recommendation. So, but anyways, copies of The Destroyer of Worlds are still available directly through Subterranean Press. They are going to be full priced, but you know, if you scope out the secondary market, you might be able to find one for a cheap deal. If you're on Facebook, I would recommend joining the Subterranean Press Readers Group. Bill from Sub Press will occasionally discount titles, and the people on that group usually get the first notification of those sales. So, you know, he might wake up one morning and say, hey, I want to move some copies of this book. I'm going to list them all for 50% off, and you can get a good deal that way. It's you know, it's easy to twist my arm when you're offering me a good deal. But anyways, I think it's a very creative edition, and it'll look really nice next to Lovecraft Country. Link in the description below to my old Lovecraft Country unboxing if you want to check that out for yourself and watch me sweat all over my book. But anyways, check out Subterranean Press. They do, not all their titles are expensive, oversized titles like this. They do, like I said, have plenty of older titles that have a smaller trim size, more traditional trim size, that are still signed by the authors. They might not have thicker cardstock jackets like this or nicer paper like this, but they get the job done. But anyways, check out Subterranean Press. They are one of the best in the business. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I do at least one book review a week. Plenty of unboxing videos in between here and there to keep you entertained. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you around next time.